Welcome to pregame, everybody. Postgame, rather. This is Mystics Outlook. So sorry. We got Raymond Lyons here, Cardo Dudley Jr., and Wilson Tarver Jr. The Washington Mystics. They topped the Dream 79-76 for their sixth consecutive win. It, the margin of victory could have been a little bit wider if 19 free throws weren't missed. However, six straight wins is six straight wins. Ray, you were in the building. How they get that done?
Yeah, just want to start with the obvious negatives first. You shoot better from the field than you did from the free throw line. That that's crazy. And also, the 17 turnovers. They got to clean that up. We've been talking about that ad nauseum. But other than that, I got no complaints, man. They for majority of the game, they had the foot on the Dream net. To that fourth quarter, Dream kind of made a push. They won the quarter 28-17, but the Mystics had done enough work on the front end to kind of get themselves enough cushion to get the win. Again, Shakira, she's just continuously making her case, man. 21 and 11 tonight, 5 blocks. She was just dominant in all aspects. Their bench kicked in. Cody and Cash Prosper and Lauren Best as well. They came in being disruptive, causing havoc, especially Cash on the defensive end. Um, yeah, man, this is a total team effort. So we talked about how they would need to come in physical against Atlanta. They're a team that's big and they like to put hands on you. But the Mystics kind of pushed them around tonight for the most part. We've seen a lot of red jerseys on the floor. Atlanta was getting kind of frustrated, but that's what the Mystics do, man. They're growing up, and it's good to see. Like you said, this is consecutive win, and it looks like they're just continuing to push this thing forward.
Cardo?
Yeah, man. It's like when they matched their physicality, even exceeded it. They know what it is. They played them twice already, so they knew they had to match that. But it's like what I said in pregame. The Mystics had more skilled players on their roster. It reminds me of a famous situation on the NBA side back in the day when the Bad Boys was being extra physical with the Celtics, beating up Kevin McHale and Bird and all them. And Kevin McHale said the famous line. He said, "You know what? Eventually, y'all gonna have to play basketball, and when we play basketball, I'm gonna kick your ass." And that's exactly what happened. And that's what happened in this game. Like all that physical stuff is cool, but we got to play basketball at some point, and we got more skilled players than you, and that's why they can get the dream. They can match their physicality. They have depth up front, but when it comes to execution, skill wise and stuff, they have more players to get it done. Um, let's be real. On Dream, there's only two people you can throw the ball to, and they can consistently go make something happen. That's Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray. Outside of that, it's hit or miss. Mystics, you can give it to Kiki. You can give it to Sonya. You can get it to Shakira. You even got the young girls growing up, Cody. Cassandra had a career game today. Um, Michaela, just a bad game. Most of the time she could get it done. Like they have more players that can consistently get it done in that regard, and that's why they always have the edge. Um, if the Mystics make their free throws, if they make their free throws, this game isn't even close, and that's how you allow a team to come back in the fourth quarter. You got to make your free throws, especially when they're battling back and Ryan's on fire, and yeah, they're desperate, so they're trying to score quick and get to the line, or stop the clock and get to the line, and that's the best way they can do it. So that's the worst thing you do as far as um, fouling them and putting them on the line. The clock is not ticking, and that's how they were able to get back in the game. In a full quarter. On top of other things, the Mystics offense just for whatever reason outside Shakira just disappearing in that fourth quarter. And what I mean by that, the Dream, they were 9 of 15 in the fourth quarter. They were 18 of 27 in the game. The majority of their free throws came literally in that fourth quarter. That's how they got back into the game. The Mystics got sloppy. They weren't defending without fouling and the physicality, and that's why you gotta give the Mystics credit because the mental block of trying to you seeing them come back on your home court and you're picking up fouls being from a very physical game. It can go either way. You could become irritated and lose your composure, or you could just stay with it and figure it out. And they stay with it and figure it out. And I don't think they would have did this earlier in the season. Well, I know they wouldn't have did it earlier in the season. They just didn't have that. So that's exactly what it came down to in that fourth quarter. And that's the reason why the Dream were able to get back into the game. But with that being said, the Mystics also got to the line. They were 6 to 12, 50%. Again, you gotta make your free throws. You know what I mean? It goes without saying. But Shakira Olsen, man, she's playing all WNBA basketball. I've been saying it for the past few games. She didn't become an All Star. We can pretty much pencil it in. She gonna be an all WNBA player. Like she's dominating, and no one has had a clue on how to slow her down. 21, 11, and 3. Hell, the only thing she did, if you want to poke at some, the 6 turnovers were bad, and then I can't even ignore the 5 block shots. But in the 5 fouls, you know what I mean. You got to defend without fouling. But again, when it's physical like that, it's just hit and miss. And then to help hold Angel Reese the one or 12. You know what I mean. Not allowing her to get second chance opportunities or whatnot to try to help the Dream come back and possibly try to take the lead, which was just huge, man. So again, like I said in the pregame show, man, this was gonna be Ann Wood versus Clarissa DeShields, and that's what it was. You know what I mean? That's what it was. But the Mystics withstood it. They took the blows and they delivered a knockout punch. What Shakira did down the lane, when they needed it, and that's why they got the franchise record, six straight wins, and they're on. They're trending upward. They're by far they're the most dangerous team in the WNBA right now. They're a problem, and they just got to stay with it.
Yeah, piggyback off what you guys said, like that franchise record 12 blocks was crazy tonight in a game. And Cardell, you mentioned the pregame. I think we're all aware, what Atlanta brings to the table. They were turning folks out the paint on a regular basis, just denying. Like we had the little clip up while you guys were talking, where it was just like a 54-second long clip, and they had 9 of those 12 blocks in the first half. Like everybody was getting their stuff beat. And then I think the biggest thing for me is obviously, we know what to expect out, the 2 All-Stars and Shakira, who's clearly putting up a hell of an argument for all W come the end of the season. Their 3 big guns they were doing what they normally do, but that bench, that 27 points off the bench was huge. We're talking all throughout the year about them growing to where we can see if they can be consistent in the second half. That bench, they got great production out there bench tonight. Obviously, we seen Cody, stacking good games back to back. Didn't have the big 18 she had, I think, last game. Had 11 tonight. Cass gets a career high with 10. But their size, the things that we saw when we were all excited on here on draft day, but what those 2 could potentially bring. Lauren didn't shoot it well, but 11 rebounds, 3 blocks. The Cass had 3 blocks. There's a reason that they've been a top 5 defensive team in this league, and it's a hell of a night to show it. We've seen them in glimpses kind of turn up on that end, and yeah, I was just definitely impressed by the defense, and then just with the kids chipping in tonight, because you needed every bit, especially when you smoke 19 free throws. Game's totally different. You hit free throws, but since you smoke 19 free throws, the bench points came in huge. But hey man, like we talked during pregame, Cardo, that's the second straight team you just got a tiebreaker over in the season series and in the playoffs. Like you banked 2 tiebreakers against playoff teams. Can't knock that. Did y'all have anything else to add, or I'll get to player of the game Xfactor? I'll put it up on the screen. All right, player of the game for you guys.
Shakira, man.
Shakira.
All right. Oh, so difficult. Xfactor then.
Not tonight, Cassandra Crossman. No reason. She's literally averaging 2 and 1. And she gave the team 10 and 4 against on 4 of 8 against this physical team, 1 and 1 from D. 2 blocks. Easily her best game as a pro. Easy.
for sure. Agree with you guys. All right, let's get to some of these comments before we get out of here. Let's see what we got. Appreciate y'all for the comments as always. Carlos Roberts, 6 straight. Those free throws have me nervous as hell.
Yeah, a lot of people, brother.
Doug Dame said the best defensive team in the league right now.
You damn sure can make an argument. It's second in points allowed, third in defensive rating, and I'm pretty sure that's going to improve after tonight with the way the shooting efficiency of the dream and the blocks and all that. So yeah, you damn sure can make an argument. That's what's carried them. We saw that from jump from the very first game. We was like, if they can maintain that, they'll be fine because the offense gonna catch up, and the offense caught up, and look what's happened. So if they just don't, if they just stop beating themselves with the turnovers and the free throws, it's ugly.
Next comment is I'm happy they won 6 straight from Area 11T. Sorry. Happy they won 6 straight, but I do have some concerns for the playoffs and maybe long term.
It's still a work in progress, man. You're not gonna fix everything overnight.
I mean, every team in the league got stuff that they trying to work through. That's the whole point of trying to get to the playoffs. But the one thing about the playoffs is the game's more spread out. You know what I'm saying? You're focusing on one team. So those concerns that maybe you can elaborate on what your concerns are, which I'm sure is probably turnovers and free throws. That might not be a concern depending on their matchup. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of their turnovers came tonight because of the physicality. They it's a lot of contact. They might go against a finesse team, and that might not be the case in the playoffs. So we got to see.
All right, next comment we have from Carlos Roberts. Today was Cavs' best game in my opinion. Agreeing with you guys earlier.
Sure, without a doubt.
Area 11T. But first, some pros. I don't care. Kara moving like an MVP.
Hey, she hooping. Like there's no question. I don't think she gonna get that, but she hooping. You know what I'm saying? That's a season long, John, but she definitely. I feel like she definitely should get all WNBA consideration for sure, man. Because without her production, there's no way it's 6 straight games, man. You know what I'm saying? It's no way possible on both ends.
All right, Doug Dame follows up with, yep, nobody else understood it, but like we said, we can just be bigger, stronger, and more athletic. It's still ball.
Yeah, but I don't even want to limit the Mystics to that because that's an injustice. They still have skilled players. They got some highly skilled players. Like a part of Shakira's dominance is her improved skill set. You know what I mean? Like she always had the size and athleticism. If you go back and watch her high school highlights, I remember when at Riverdale Baptist she played Largo and all that, and I went to that game. And that's easy. That just jumps out right at you. But all she had to do was put it all together and slow down and like one other thing that's improved, she's keeping her composure. And in years past when things got physical, things got tough, she would just blow up and stuff and it would take her out the game. She just hooping. And that's maturity on that in that one aspect, but her skill set from the perimeter. She's a tough cover, man. You know, because when Kiki does her thing inside, but Shakira could go inside and out. You know what I'm saying? So she could face you up at 6'5" with that athleticism. Bigs can't stay with her. So when she get in the paint, who's gonna block her shot? She just drove past the one person that can challenge her shot, the center. So you got a bunch of little people in there trying to wall up and block, and all she gotta do is finish. And then she can stretch the floor. She can handle the rock better. She can make better reads. Everything's improved. So that's opening things up. And then on top of that, if she misses, man, you got Kiki, you got Son, you got Cody, you got Lauren, all them down there cleaning up everything. So it's tough. You know, it's tough, man. But yeah, it ain't just athleticism being bigger, man. These ladies could play. They just young, and they had to get some reps. Um, and that's why you see a lot of teams, you know, in the pros, they draft players from winning teams because that means they're tough. That means they're figured out. That means they got a high IQ. They just got the aptitude to figure things out even through struggles, and they got the character to get through those struggles to figure it out. And once you put all that together, you get something special. And that's what you're seeing with the Mystics.
Yeah, I'm right with you with Shakira. It's that work that's been put in. You start to come to that promise of what people thought could happen at some time with the tools that she brought to the table. And it's been fun to watch to see her get there. Area 11T, Cody becoming that fourth option, the down presence, and Cass with the big night.
Um, I ain't gonna say she the fourth option right now. I mean, Anya Wary, she's had a couple games. I wish, I'm pretty sure she wish she could have back, but she's becoming a steady option they can count on. How about that? You know what I'm saying? And that was the issue early on because let's Georgia's up and down, and these are the games where Georgia it's tough for Georgia because she's very small, and she got to go up against some grown women, and that's just a different animal. So this is where Cody comes in hand. You know what I mean? Like you put her in there, and you don't really lose nothing. Even when she's not scoring, she ain't giving up nothing on defense. She gonna rebound. She gonna do the little things, and like you said, she can get downhill and she can make reads because that's what she did in college. And it's not many players in the W that can get back in front of her once she get past them. It's just not gonna happen. She's too explosive, too fast, getting downhill. So yeah, and Cash. Yeah, this is a confidence booster. Like if I'm her, I'm like, oh, if I could play with this physicality against these ladies, yeah, I can do this all every night.
Area 11T followed that up with the defense is terrifying.
Man, the numbers speak on it. It it validates it for sure.
Quectans they asked twice, but why didn't Onion Were close the game? Is what they meant to ask.
Points, 0 for 6 from the field, 0 for 3 for deep. Self-explanatory, my man.
Hey man, somebody answered earlier. Cass had a big night. Like, hey man, someone took advantage of their opportunity tonight. Oh, sorry, I missed this one. But man, they got to figure out their turnover problem, free throw problem. Got to be figured out.
No, we've been saying that all year. We thought they had a handle on it. Games 12, we like, all right, they good, but yeah, bro, that's one of them things. Like, yeah, we just gotta roll with it, back. We got to work on that in the off season, man. Cause yeah, it's crazy. I don't think that's gonna change. Uh, at least it ain't 27 like the last time they played the Dream, man. Wilson almost passed out pregame when he heard that.
I really did. I'm so happy my mic was on mute because not one word was okay for the stream that I was thinking when you said 27. Because I blocked that out in my mind. Um, yeah, I see. I don't even, we're past that. We're over it. All right. Yes, I agree, bro. People really thought we were gonna let Shakira get out of here. Austin is a unicorn. Probably the most athletic big I've seen since Candace Parker.
She's up there. Grinding came in the league after Parker, and you know what she was doing. It's been some athletic bigs. Stewie,
JJ.
she's more athletic than JJ.
Okay.
JJ, but she's yeah. She moves. Shakira moves like a guard. She's 6'5", moves like a guard, man. But yeah, she's up there, but I ain't gonna say she there because it's like young grinder couldn't nobody deal with that, man. That was something different. Like she was drop
Like
step
you
down
said, fucking pre Achilles Stewie was on some other stuff before
yeah.
the Achilles.
Pandas cutting backdoor, dunking on the hole. Yeah, we've seen some things, yeah. But she up there though.
Quick things again says looks like Citron is our best option for PG.
She has to be. 'Cause, yeah, Georgia, she's up and down. She hasn't been consistent. She struggles against big, athletic, physical guards. It is what it is.
Yeah, and they started picking on her on both ends immediately.
Area 11T followed that up with I kind of want to see Sony play a little less point guard so she tends to stop being aggressive. Scoring wise, when she does.
Hey man, look, she was 14, 3 or 3, 5 or 10, 2 or 3 from deep. Only thing she did wrong was she was 2 or 4 from the free throw line, man, and they won. Um, and she was guarding Alicia Gray. I mean, man, they it's hard to it's hard to criticize when they're on the 6 game winning streak. It's just like keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. Because right
I
now,
also think that's.
go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was just saying like because the point guard position is so iffy right now, man. Like, yeah, she got to kind of sacrifice going for the time being, because she got to set everybody else up, and
Also,
especially with the way Shakira playing, get her the ball though, like feed her.
I was going to say this, like you said, they're on a 6 game winning streak. Kira's on a burner right now. Um, there's no reason to force anything for the sake of getting, your point per game's going up right now. It's fine. And the other thing, think about all the valuable reps she's getting at that throughout all this, like her and Cody. I'm sure to pay off in the long run. But yeah, I could care less about the points right now at all. Or maybe it's the position itself because none of them really look for their own shot very often.
Now they look for they 14th in the WNBA in assists, 19.2. So that thing hit a couple pads, it's going up. It ain't gonna take long, but Sonya's doing a good job. She lead the team in assists, just under 4 a game, and she only averages 2.6 turnovers. So it's pretty much almost close to like 2 assists and 1 turnover, which is kind of what you want in a sense for especially for like a secondary ball handler. But I just want her to be efficient, play defense, and just make smart plays, and then the Mystics will be fine. Because either way, when you miss from the perimeter, they're gonna clean it up.
Facts. Doug Dame, I don't really count Stewie as a big. She's more of a wing in my opinion. And they fouled that up by saying good shot though.
So she plays the 4 her whole life. Ain't no wing, just she's skilled, but she's a 4, man. She's just a unicorn. She's one of them unicorns I always talk about, like Deladon and John Quill. You know what I'm saying? Like Meesman was a unicorn. The Mystics had 2 in 2019. That's why they were hard to guard. You know what I mean?
Unfair.
Yeah, man. And then the Liberty tried to duplicate that. Yeah, man. It's a few more in the league that's come. Candace Parker was a unicorn when she played. You know what I mean? So talking about like Stewie's 6'6", man. Oh, that's a center height with guard skills. That's tough, and guard athleticism. That's tough.
Followed it up by saying good show. Fellas, we appreciate y'all as well again for all the comments. After these, last comment, I believe, Area 11T, but lastly, the Wings need some love on defense, especially Sony forcing about 6 offensive fouls.
Oh no, they was clamping down. They was clamping down, man. Like there's a reason. Like I said, there's a reason why only Ryan and Alicia Gray really got off tonight. You know what I'm saying? And it took Ryan a little bit. She got going in the 4th. It had her held down for most of the game as well. Alicia Gray is just Alicia Gray. She quiet, but that's a bad mother. Dog rolled the ankle, getting banged up, coming back in, still getting buckets. Dog, she's something different. So they just need a little help. They need help, like somebody that can consistently hit shots to kind of complement what they bring, man. You know what I mean? So until they can consistently get that, it's gonna be tough for them. You know what I mean? Because I think teams that caught on just don't let them bully you, and let's play basketball and we got a shot.
All right, y'all. Again, the Mystics beat the Dream 79-76. That win streak has moved on to 6 games. They got a franchise record 12 blocks in this one. Up next to close this homestand, they're 4-0 on this homestand, 6-0 last 6 games. Going back to them 2 before All-Star break. They host the Phoenix Mercury Sunday afternoon, so we'll see you guys for Mystics pregame and Mystics Outlook come Sunday.